Good morning to all my friends and family, and welcome to Jim's 5 a.m. club. And this morning I'm coming to you from the rocks. Surprise, surprise. It's another overcast day here in Sydney. A summer that has been characterised by rain, wind, humidity, and just unsettled conditions. But we'll take it. It's not too windy today, so I'll head down to the harbour to deliver yet another Jim's 5 a.m. club. And today all I want to do is do a walk and talk. But bear with me, my mic just fell off. Do another walk and talk and continue along the vein that I commenced yesterday, and that's a discussion along a line of self-fulfilling prophecies. Yesterday we talked about and introduced the concept of the Pygmalion effect, and just to take you back and just remind you, Pygmalion was a mythical Greek sculptor who moulded and created a most magnificent sculpture of a woman, and he was so enamored with his sculpture, with his design, with his creation, that he actually fell in love with it. And the story goes that he fell in love with his sculpture, with his glorious, beautiful sculpture, and he was so intoxicated by the work of art that he'd created that he appealed to the mythical Greek goddess Aphrodite to bring this sculpture to life. And she so pitied him and so felt for him that she granted his wish. And Pygmalion's beautiful statue came to life, and they lived happily ever after. And they had a daughter, which I learnt, which is very interesting. And the daughter's name was Paphos. And Paphos is a major city, a key city in Cyprus, is my understanding. So there you go, we've learned something new in terms of our history and in terms of our mythical history as well of Greece. Anyway, I'm down here by the harbour, as you can see. The sun is coming up on the horizon. But because it's heavily clouded, it's not going to be all that spectacular. So we'll just continue walking and talking and chatting away. So what we learnt yesterday, what we discussed yesterday on the walk and talk, was the Pygmalion effect is one aspect of this whole concept of self-fulfilling prophecies. And it's the positive side of it. And I'll just grab my notes. So we've got the Pygmalion effect, which is basically if you have positive or heightened expectations of yourself or other people, then you will lift your performance in order to deliver on those expectations. So it's all about managing these expectations. But on the opposite side of the spectrum of the self-fulfilling prophecies, on the one side you've got the positive expectations and the positive impact, and on the other end there's a thing called the Golem effect, which says that the opposite is true as well. So if you've got negative expectations that either you believe in, and those negative expectations can come from yourself, can come from your environment, from your friends, the media, uncles, aunts, father, mother, grandparents, teacher, mentor, brother, sister, workmate. Who knows? Who knows where these expectations come from? Who knows where these influences come from in our lives? But we're surrounded by these influences. So we need to understand that we're surrounded by both the positive style of influencer, and also there's a whole army of negative styled influences in our lives. So once again, let's get back to the detail of this whole subject of self-fulfilling prophecy. And the basic tenet of this belief, or this teaching, is that what we fixate on becomes our reality. So the power of expectation, and basically what expectation is, and what your belief system is, or what expectation is your self-hypnosis. Believe it or not, but we are talking to ourselves all the time in our internal world. We have a discussion, a litany of thoughts which pass through our minds on a daily basis. And what happens is that we're going through a process of self-hypnosis, where we're hypnotizing ourselves and influencing ourselves through our own propaganda. So that propaganda, as I said, can be self-created. We can dream it up ourselves, we can believe it ourselves, we can conceive it ourselves, or it can be imported. So the infection can come from the outer. It can come from the people around us, our friends, our families, our teachers, our workmates, you name it. The media, uncles, aunts, mentors, and self-chatter. So what's the lesson here? The lesson here is that we need to be very, very diligent and specific with what we think about and what goes into our heads, because it's going to impact and shape the way we see the world, and also it's going to shape our reality. So it's a very, very powerful concept. But what we also learn, and it's very, very important as well, is that the negative people, the negative Nancys, the Debbie Downers, the people who are excessively negative, the people whose Tetris effect. So the only patterns they look for are negative patterns. They never look for what's good in anything. They never look what's good in anybody. They will always step up and tell you, remind you, banter with you all the time about what's wrong and what's negative. They'll never see a pattern of what's good and what's right. And these people here, sadly but truly, are the most confident and the most the loudest speaking people in your social circle. You know who they are. You are able to identify them very, very easily. It's the uncle, the aunt, the parent, the grandparent, the workmate, the one who talks with such authority and thinks that they know everything. But they're usually the people who are the most negative and have the most influence on our lives. And believe it or not, they have a much greater influence on your life and other people's lives than all the positive people put together. And why does this happen? I don't know why it happens. I don't know why the negative people, the negativity in the world, has a greater influence on each and every person than all the positive people put together. But I guess it's because that's the way we're wired. We're wired to fear pain and suffering and to do more to avoid pain than to gain pleasure, and hence why our attention is always pointed to people who are negative, people who are destructively negative, in fact. Just like so, a bad apple will ruin a bunch of apples, or a bad orange, a moldy orange will infect all the other oranges. So too, negative people within your social circle will infect the whole social circle, and via groupthink will basically have everybody doubting themselves, doubting their beliefs, and reshaping their realities. So we need to understand very, very clearly, and I've said this time and time again, but people still don't get it. What we focus on, what we fixate on, what we believe will manifest itself magically. So we need to be deliberate in what we believe, what we think about, and to mute the negativities and the negative people in our lives. You can do it nicely, you know. I'm happy to listen to everybody's opinion, but it in no way, shape or form will shape or change or influence my opinion, because my opinions, my beliefs, my focus is so direct that it can't be distracted or destroyed by other people's confident banter, if you know what I mean. So once again, we understand that light can break the darkness and mellow the darkness. We mustn't forget that we need to work hard and at least minimize, where possible, the dark thoughts, the dark negative influences in our lives. Put on mute the negative Nancy's, the Debbie Downers, the excessively negative people in our lives, because they will trigger an avalanche of negativity in your life, which you won't be able to manage. And the important thing to understand is that harmony, peace and harmony comes through controlling your thoughts and not letting every other dickhead in our lives control our thoughts and distract us from positivity to negativity. And as we said, negativity is the greatest disease in all of mankind. It is worse than drugs, it's worse than alcohol, it's worse than every other known disease to man, and it is the most contagious and the most destructive to not only our lives but to the lives of all of those around us. So be on guard, and be careful of the glamenomouni. The Greeks refer them as the glamenomouni, which are the people who are always negative and put negative spins on things and catastrophize everything around them. Everything they touch, everything they see, everything they are involved with, they'll bring catastrophe and negativity, which then infuses fear, uncertainty and doubt into the group, the social circle, and all the people that they come into contact with. So my call to action to everybody is to consider being more like Pygmalion. Pygmalion, where you create beauty in your life, you manifest beauty, you sculpture, you deliberately work on creating beautiful things and beautiful ideas and beautiful positivity in your life, and bring it to life by just focusing on it so intently that you're able to bring out the beauty and the positivity in everything around you, even if it's an inanimate sculpture like Pygmalion did. So at the end of the day, the bottom line is that we can create our own realities by what we focus on, by what we fixate on, by what we believe, what we strongly believe. And it's up to you to do that for yourself, because once you shape your reality through your beliefs and what you fixate on and what you focus on, then you're also going to help all those around you achieve their reality. And don't be the Debbie Downer and the negative Nancy. Bring positivity into all the relationships that you engage in, because at the end of the day, whatever you focus on, as we said before time and time again, whatever you focus on will manifest itself as your reality. So if you're focusing on negativity, then you're going to manifest negativity and negative outcomes in your life. If you focus on positivity, then obviously you're going to focus on and bring positive outcomes into your life. Anyway, let's finish up with a positive affirmation. I'm alive, I'm well, and I feel absolutely great. To my friends and family, stay connected, stay relevant, and most importantly, let's focus on being positive and raising our expectations and our standards by the Pygmalion effect, and steering clear wherever possible of the Golem effect, where negative expectations, negative beliefs overwhelm our being and take over our results and our lives in a way which is unwelcomed, but you've welcomed it by focusing on it. So thank you very much for joining me on Jim's 5 a.m. Club. I'm just heading to work today, and we'll chat again. I'll deliver 3 or 4 5 a.m. clubs today throughout the day, and that's my calling. That's what I enjoy doing, and I enjoy going on a walk and talk and sharing the things that we've come across in our lives. And I look forward to hearing your stories and your accounts over the years to come. Yasas, bye for now. Tasagapao, I love you. A kiss from Jim on Jim's 5 a.m. Club, and have a great day. Bye.